Shinpachi at 7th place? I'm very convinced that this is the end of the world. I mean the series. Right. Series. If a miracle can happen to a boy in the popularity poll, so can the war. As evident from the poll, we are close to the end of the series. Instead of focusing on the miracle boy, the chapter focuses on Sadaharu, a loyal dog that won't stop until he serves his purpose. Not just for the sake of the war, but for his family. It is action-packed, heart-wrenching, and exciting. I have to admit, it's rather hard to see a pet, let alone a dog, brutally injured. It's the old code of media to harm and kill humans for all they care. However, a dog getting killed is no good, because no one wants to see that. Sadaharu is the standout of the chapter, and watching him stepping closer to death is gut-wrenching. The beginning set the tone for the chapter and how it will begin to take you for a wild ride. It has a sincere moment with Ane and Mone. They couldn't stop Sadaharu because of the condition, but they don't want him to die since he has a family. It's sad when they try to act strong, but soon to apologize because they know they reached their limit. They gave him their last remaining energy so he can finish the job. Even if they don't like it, the best they can say is not to die. It has been a touching reunion, and this ends on a good note. Sadaharu came a long way to this moment of dire situation, but still determined as ever to save everyone. Then we got one hell of a ride. The atmosphere gets really dark as soon as he encounters none other than Usuro. This showdown is something I never thought of seeing, but here we are. It didn't sit me well to see him back, knowing he is unstoppable. When the action begins, I begin to fear, and it keeps on growing. Usuro has his monologue, though a shorter one. It still sends chills to my spine for how he remains a tyrant and annihilating everyone blocking his path. I'm a bit surprised that Sadaharu blocks his sword, but it only gets worse when Usuro decides to throw him to Naraku for their amusement. Another monologue is moving, simple, and highly effective. It's the message towards the crew back at space. It's about the flame isn't burnt out because people at Earth are still fighting. As everyone at space prepared to leave the ship, the encouraging word was spread out to reassure that no matter how dark and hopeless it seems, everyone is connected, and they must return home to bring the flame back to them. It's effective because not only the war is nearly at the end, but it establishes that everyone has a part to it. No sacrifice is left in vain. After some of craziest ride that I have witnessed, it deserved to be said in an inspiring way. I don't know if people at space will arrive to Earth before the finale arrives, but it does speak volume to see how far they all came. It's even more effective when it was addressed during some of horrific shots of the action. As riveting the action is, watching Sadaharu trying to barge through and take some beatings is just hard to ache. I didn't expect him to get this badly wounded, but Sorochi must be only merciful to Gorilla, and the rest can rot for all he cares. Sadaharu is pretty impressive here, however. He takes out some of Naraku with his head bite and uses their sword to break through. It's a real struggle, and the chapter portrays it that way, which ultimately toy around the audience emotion. Despite me believing that he wouldn't die, I was still invested and pray for the action to end fast. It's not about being badass, it's about striving to finish the mission with a massive disadvantage. No pun intended. But it's in an underdog story. The staff stabbing through his gut was like us taking a stab in the gut. It startled me to see him in this condition, and it gradually got worse when Hisugi is back to finish the job. That scene with Ane's last word to him connected to his introduction scene with Yorozuya is touching. This is one family that I'm going to miss when the series ends. Before I can order a ticket to Japan to find Gorilla, the ending left me incredibly hyped. Not only Gintoki saves the day on time, but the fact he cuts Hisugi's arm with his face of intention to kill got me excited. He may be the first victim for Gintoki's new sword, and I can't wait for this action to happen. I don't even care if it's one-sided. Pissed off Gintoki is going to bring hell to them. The presentation is portrayed as an underdog story. Again, no pun intended. Sadaharu was alone throughout the chapter, and trying to pass through Usuro and Naruku was inspiring yet horrifying. It has fewer texts, but they are effective. The journey was gut-wrenching, clearly toying with our emotions. That last page is badass. The magnitude of hype is increasing with passing days before the next release. It's a very compelling chapter despite the hardship of Sadaharu. It's encouraging, touching, and exciting to see how it unfolds by the end. The arc is coming close to the end, and it will end on a high note. If Shinpachi can pull a miracle, nothing is impossible. I'm giving this chapter a 9. Seriously though, congratulations Shinpachi. You finally got out of the dreaded 8. And now you advanced to 7, which is a lucky number in Japan, or anywhere else to be honest. Good for you. Good for you. What are your thoughts of the chapter? Are you surprised with the poll result? I'm a little shocked with some parts, but I'm happy to see Kagura gets to the top 5 before the series end. And Gintoki always being number 1 is always pleasing. Same thing with Hijikata. I mean, he is the Vegeta of the series according to them, so why not, right? And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel, and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.